Young people. They're just like the rest of us. Bright and beautiful. Fun-loving. And complicated. Each one is different from the other. And basically, young people want what we all want. They want to be seen. To have their ideas matter to someone.
Hey, that's a great idea!
And to be fully engaged and excited by life's possibilities.
No!
How do we help ignite that one personal and unique impulse that will enliven and motivate teens at such a critical point in their development? How do we know what's going on beneath the surface that might be getting in the way of their success? Or help them turn the coping skills that have helped them survive
Turns out no one had noticed how long I'd been gone or even at all.
into the life skills that will allow them to thrive?
And sink deep into my abyss of misery.
The answers to these questions are tricky because educators know that a one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't work. A high school that includes an on-site daycare might be the thing that allows this student to continue her education. While for another, it might be an arts program that brings a hidden talent to the surface. Or exposure to a hands-on skill that opens a window to the future. Creating safe and supportive learning environments for students who haven't always fit easily into a traditional classroom setting is the work of the alternative education program.
Are you in? Are you in? Morgan? Sure. You better be, because I need you.
The Santa Cruz County Office of Education operates 23 schools on 17 different sites, all based on the belief that every student, regardless of their background or circumstance, has the right to learn.
Yeah, that's right.
A powerhouse of community groups partner with the county office to meet the needs of every student who comes into alternative education. By providing counseling and support services to young people and their families, bringing additional talents and opportunities into the classroom experience, or helping students become participants in their own community, educators are able to keep the bar held high for student achievement.
You did a pretty good job. It's almost there. You can go like that.
Every program is strategically designed to meet the individual and collective needs of students. And for some, that means a carefully developed educational path that transitions youth from high school into a career. And for others, it might mean an independent study program that lets students direct the flow and focus of their own education.
You feel that you're learning personally from the teacher. It's not like just in a classroom where there's 30 other kids and you're one of the 30 other kids and you don't really feel like you're getting all the knowledge, man, like you're just around and getting this experience of the teacher, like one-on-one. And honestly, I feel like I'm learning more.
Developing literacy in students who may have lost their confidence as learners depends on a number of things, like keeping class sizes low and having students stay with one teacher for multiple subjects. But the real key is the impassioned and motivated team of educators who believe deeply in the work they do and the deep and powerful relationships they build with their students.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Roxanne McDonald, who is now a counselor working through youth services at the Yes School, was once one of those teens, looking for a place where she could fit in. She remembers that first day when she walked into an alternative education classroom, not as a teacher, but as a student.
My teacher was named Ken, and he was alone in the classroom with 20 kids, and Ken wanted to be here. He wasn't somebody who was just doing teaching as something to go somewhere else. That he with everything he did, he liked us, and that there was this feeling of I walked in the room and he was excited to see me. And that's what I know about alternative ed. Staff are here because they really like teenagers. That there's this deep interest and curiosity in the people that are coming here, the people that are coming as students. And not just a kid that comes in for an hour and leaves, but the teachers are with them most of the time all day, that they're their primary teacher, and that this rejoicing in success together. And so that it builds this community about we're going to look at where you struggle, but we're also going to be a part of celebrating success.
When students come into my classroom, a lot of times they have been met with failure of one kind or another in maybe a mainstream school or a different school. And academically, what's nice is that I can find what they're really strong at and build from there. So my first task is to empower students so that they feel like they can actually become learning members of our classroom.
And there's actually one more. Sugar. Very good. So good. Excellent. Yeah, you're on the right track.
What these kids become and what they can do just on a daily basis is like nothing I ever thought I would experience as a teacher. I became a teacher and went right into the comprehensive setting. And then I came here and I realized what I was missing. I was missing the connections with the kids. The real life teachable moments happen in this classroom or in any of our classrooms. They finally feel like they are the student they can be. What could I vary in this experiment that could affect the number of apples I'm going to get?
Fertilizer.
Absolutely.
What did you say congruent meant? The same. Good. Congruent angles have the same measure.
We give our students the opportunity to think outside of the box. We give them their academic confidence back, and we give them a place where they can come and explore their higher educational options.
If I wouldn't have had my baby, probably I wouldn't be in school because I wouldn't have that much of a big reason to go. But now that I have my baby, it's different. I'm almost graduating this June, so I want to keep going to college and I want to be an example for him.
And so one of the things I think we say to them all the time is that this education is the one place you have a choice. You have a say. Doesn't matter if you're 14 or 24. It's the one place in your life that you get to make a choice. If you want to learn, then it's going to happen for you because nobody else can tell you to do that.
See, that one fit her fine.
Every day, young people are making incredibly powerful choices that can affect them for the rest of their lives. Helping students take responsibility for the decisions they make, both good and bad, runs through every facet of the alternative education programs. Whether students are learning poetry or self-defense, ethics matter.
I think to become ethical, you have to know yourself first of all. And you have to realize that you want to be treated with respect and kindness by others. That's where I think the process of writing in a group is very, very useful. You discover things about yourself when you sit down to write. And when you share that, and when you hear others writing about what they've been through, you realize you are not alone.
All I need is a beacon of hope, a light in the dark, a course to set. All I want is a beacon of hope.
Like Malcolm X, we do not live the American dream. We live and only know the American nightmare.
A real focus of what I do is, it's not necessarily about what the drawing looks like or how good it is. It's more of what that student is coming to know about themselves and the world around them through the drawing.
Since alternative education students get to work so closely with their teachers, there are often moments of connection where a student is able to get a glimpse of a whole new way of thinking about who they are and what's possible. Rob Court remembers an important breakthrough from a very resistant teen.
He was really verbally just in my face the whole time, basically. But I got him into some basic lessons, and then what happened, I brought in an easel, and I set up an easel, and immediately something happened with him when he saw me put the drawing board up on an easel, and I brought the charcoal out, and his posture changed, and everything about him changed. He wasn't this rough kid anymore. He suddenly felt like he was an artist.
As students find confidence in their ability to express their feelings and ideas, a number of programs are in place to help translate that confidence into action.
Lock this arm down, I create some motion.
Lessons in empowerment can happen at every level of the alternative education curriculum, and the class might take place on a mat for a class in self-defense, or at a local beach or pond where the lesson is in giving back to the community.
Good day's work.
We try to get kids to see that their voice makes a difference. Their 1 hour of work, no matter how seemingly insignificant it is to them at that time, makes a difference in the overall picture of making the situation better. And by doing that, I think it really enhances their self-esteem and their feeling that they have something to contribute.
Maybe the most empowering aspect of Alt Ed is preparing students for future employment, like the lessons learned in the sustainable gardens at Ponderosa and Natural Bridges High Schools. Programs like Food What, which uses sustainable agriculture to reach low-income and at-risk students, offers real-world lessons in empowerment. By growing, cooking, and distributing organic food to their families and neighborhoods, students are given the tools they'll need to become working, contributing members of their community.
People always ask us, are we growing future farmers? And I say, not really, we're growing strong individuals. And I think agriculture presents a really nice opportunity to learn a lot of these skills in a very empowering way. Grab a bunch and cut it above the ground.
I felt really great throughout the summer as far as helping communities, such as local schools or the beach flats, provide them with fresh produce. So helping out the community and made me feel good inside, made me care a lot more about individuals.
Working with the low-income population that we serve, we also see it as a place of healing. So there's a lot of traumas that our youth in this community have gone through, and working on the land and growing food and having a safe, healthy place to be, and even exploring what health means in its many variations is a very nurturing place for a young person to be. We've seen students that have decided to actually pull it together and do well in school because they, for the first time, saw a future for themselves. So they go back and they graduate and they succeed and they go on to Cabrillo or to another college and have a successful trajectory. We've seen youth walk away where the seed that's grown in them is the strength to check themselves into rehab. We see youth that come in with very low self-esteem, doubting that anything they say is worthwhile to be heard, and by the end of 6 months at Food What or 8 months at Food What, they might be on a panel at a conference in front of a few hundred adults.
When you go to graduations, that you can see it, this rejoicing in success together, of really, instead of just looking at, where are you going or what did you get done, but about where did you come from and what did you struggle with, and then how are we all a part of this incredible miracle thing of completing high school and battling whatever was in your way coming into the door.
It's not just giving a student a diploma, that this is a whole person, this is a whole human being. It's not just about a diploma. It's not just about this little piece of paper. It's about this person has completed or is in the midst of a journey, a lifelong journey. And this is one more stepping stone to just being this successful this beautiful, this magical human being in our community and beyond.
There is no doubt in my mind that you can accomplish anything you want to, from college to career to the arts that you so excel at. I'm looking forward to seeing much, much more of you as an active alumnus. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Maggie, for single-handedly coordinating the Yes booth at the Strawberry Festival, and for your many hours of volunteer service at the Walnut Avenue Women's Center, where your photography graces the walls of rooms reserved for victims of domestic violence and their families, if only to act as the smallest agent of serenity. What a beautiful gesture that is. What a gift you are to our community. May gratitude for your generosity never be understated, and may you continue to be a force for good in the world.
I assume my role as a man on the spinning blue dot with bitter acceptance and unfaltering vigilance. Sometimes when I stare at the setting sun, I catch a glimpse of a thought which leads me to believe that I might have a destiny, that just maybe I was placed in this body for great intentions. Intentions to change things, to move mountains and tear the sky in half. Then I close my eyes and remember where I came from.
You memorized the definition of integrity, and you have not wavered in your devotion to it. You have been of service to your community in countless ways, and you have served as our teacher. I will miss you and your 5-minute dance parties and your inappropriate trust falls. You have a destiny, firm and clear, and you will meet it as a man who knows himself and who knows that happiness is a choice. I would tell you that I love you, but you already know that too. Feel proud today, Andrew. It's okay to let your ego bask in all of its glory today. For you have shown that you are more than ready to go out and meet life on life's terms.
I love alternative education. It's better than anything I could ever expect as a teacher. So I love it here. It's wonderful. It's priceless.
I love this job. It's a mission. The people who work in alternative ed are very inspiring people, and they're people who, it's not a job. It's a commitment. The people who work with students they amaze me. They're tireless in terms of, wanting to provide more opportunities, more counseling, more education, better education. They're constantly trying to improve the delivery of education so that it reaches these kids. I think we've all seen, our students are also inspirational. Many of them come to school in spite of incredible odds. And I think when you see those kids come to school day after day, it brings you to work. I mean, you know that you're coming to work for individual people. It's not just this grindingly huge system. What you do makes a difference every day in this job. And that's a great job. And that's the kind of job we hope to have our kids find also. A job that you can feel passionate about, that you feel good about, and that brings you to work every day, that you really care about.